Welcome into the Ryco Performance Monday night top split here from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. I am Austin Edstrom standing alongside Sheldon Atkins, and Austin Derbyshire is behind the production booth as always here on GridVision tonight. We are live from the Homestead-Miami Speedway, and we're getting a overhead shot zooming in here on Florida. Before the hurricane. It looks a little bit nicer, right, Sheldon?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah, not quite as torn up here in Homestead-Miami. Not looking too bad. Luckily, we got the scan in a couple years ago, so we're A-okay here on the sim. And I think we're going to have a pretty good race here in the A-Open, especially. These next-gen cars around Homestead, I got to say, put on quite a good show. There's a lot of lanes that you can take advantage of here. You can use the bottom, you can use the middle, you can use the top. Sheldon, where are you going to be, and what do you think about Homestead here with the A-car?
Well, if I'm trying to save tires, same thing as we mention every week, man. I'm going to stick that thing down there on the paint, try and ride that seam at the bottom of the track. But I'm trying to go somewhere. We're going to stick it right up about 2 inches off the wall and absolutely send it as far as it'll let us go.
We're going to move straight into our broadcast picks right here, right now. Sean Conklin is going to be my pick here up first. The Conky Donkey hasn't been at the ovals too frequently here recently, but hey, he got the job done pretty recently, and I think he's staging a comeback, so I think he's gonna get the win again tonight.
Yeah, Conklin with the big win in NIS Friday night. I'm gonna have to go with Homer here, Justin Levine. So if he has a bad night, he has an excuse. He can blame the commentator's curse on me.
And our producer is going to be going with Joseph Pisciata. He said Homestead is his best track, and he's super confident coming in here today. So if something goes wrong for Joseph here tonight, if he lays a big fat egg here at Homestead, we need to make sure that we make him hear it loud and proud in the chat. We need to humble people around here. If you're overconfident, like anytime, like Garrett Maines, you know, he wins all the time, right? Next time he wrecks out, we just need to tear into him, right? Even if it wasn't his fault, we just got to go in humbled. keep everybody grounded on GridVision. But either way, we're gonna jump straight to the starting grid as we're starting to get a little crazy in the booth already. So Quentin warming up on the pole, 32.788, almost a tenth over Sean Conklin. So hell of a lap there from Quentin. Nicholas Roman lining up in third with Garrett Maines on his outside in fourth. Johan Seminario lining up in the fifth place position with Roger Pierce in sixth. Patrick Gitter lining up on the inside of row number 4. Tommy Gossett on the outside. Joseph Square going to be lining up in ninth with Derek Heitman rounding out the top 10.
In 11th place, we've got Yakov Kirstenov, followed by James Houghton in 12th. 13th is going to be Richard Garcia with Devin Medeiros in 14th. 15th is going to be Justin Levine, with 16th place being PB Henry. 17th is going to be Brandon Meal with Johnny Baldridge in 18th. 19th is going to go to Shane Davis, and running at your top 20 is going to be Michael Conti.
21st is Clayton Hoffman. Brandon Evans lining up in the 22nd place spot with Andrew St. Cure in 23rd. Joseph Pisciata in 24th. Raul Saraiva in 25th. Adam Benefield lining up on his outside in 26th. And then finally, in the 27th place spot here tonight from Miami, it's going to be Guilherme Bianchini in that number 27 car. So that's your full 27 car field. These guys still down on pit road for just a few more moments. And then we're going to get this thing kicked off and ready to go. Fair, we do still have a little bit of time. We don't have the schedule this week, but I can say we do have a good bit of racing coming ahead this week, nonetheless, on GridVision. I do know we got some more Spartans Master Series racing tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And then again, on Friday, we're going to be right back here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway for some more Ryco Performance Monday night top split action. So still a lot of racing on GridVision, even whenever we don't have the schedule to show you guys.
It's been a while, I feel like, since we've seen Quentin Warman out here in an A-Open, and look at him already just asserting dominance starting here on the pole. There's a full sea of red there at the front of this field, too, with all those Ryco machines taking up a majority of the top 10 spots with a couple Contis thrown in there.
Yeah, that'll be fun to call at the beginning of this one.
Yeah, I can't wait to be calling the wrong guy like I did Friday night.
Biffle, 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 biffle.
And I still can't get over the performance out of Sean Conklin there in that 54 machine Friday night, getting that NIS win while running hurt. Collarbone, he said, shaped like a V at this point. I told him to take the time off this weekend and run a couple road courses to try and balance that out, kind of counter it, and I'm wondering if he did. Probably not. Nobody ever listens to me, but...
Oh, my God.
The devotion, man.
I'm sure he's driving one-handed, right? He's got to be in a sling. He's not using that arm. Which makes it more impressive if he is driving one-handed, though.
Especially when he beat Garrett Maines for the win Friday night.
Yeah, no kidding. If he was driving one-handed, maybe he's found something. He's a better one-handed driver. Keep that arm in a sling, young fella, and just keep it ripping. One-arm bandit. That might be a little bit better of a nickname than Conky Donkey, but I prefer Conky Donkey.
Conky Donkey is what's going to stick.
Absolutely. But either way, we're coming down to the green flag for the first time here tonight. The green flag is flying. Quentin Warman to the gas pedal. And we're racing it here early at Homestead. Sean Conklin beats him down to the line. Great jump from the number 54. Warman just not as quick to the gas pedal there on that green flag as we're side by side. 2, 3, 4 rows deep. 3 wide a little bit further back. Oh, and a big stack up. One of the Ryco cars crazy loose back further. One in the fence. Is that Roger Pierce in the 27 into the outside wall? He's collected a few with him.
That's something you got to keep your eyes on here, man. This place, you know, we talk about how you have so many different lanes, so many different options you can choose from, and that is a great thing. But at the same time, once that grip slips out from under you just a little bit, and you see it right there, the 27 machine getting crazy loose, it is such a slick surface. It is so easy to get that thing snapped around and not even notice it, especially in these next-gen cars where you don't really feel what's happening to the car the same way you do with the stuff that we used to run here. Easy mistakes to make.
Pierce, Levine, Houghton, Heitman, all involved in this one. A couple others as well. All, you know, just on that restart, Pierce straddling the two seams, cold tires, maybe just put a little bit too much gas in it with a little bit too much steering wheel. And, well, the back end just was not gripped up with the cold tires. And the 27 just never caught on. He was really twitching all throughout the corner. And eventually it just twitched one too many times, and he caught that thing going right. Collected Houghton, or collected Derek Heitman, and then spun down the racetrack. Got a couple other guys involved. So early on, a lot of guys are going to be coming down pit road trying to get some damage repair. That's Heitman, Levine, and I believe Pierce coming down. Another Ryco car, James Houghton coming down pit road.
And I expected to see somebody get loose here in these early laps on the cold tires, but I was not expecting to see that in 1 and 2. That's normally something that you'd expect here in 3 and 4. Because the way the tunnel sits, the track kind of falls out from under you when you go in there, and it kind of throws the car into a weird aero situation, which causes them to snap pretty easy. But, you know, that transition on that seam can be just as harsh if you hit it wrong, and just unfortunate break for Roger Pierce and a handful of others at the start of this thing.
Levine saying up in chat that his thing's killed, so I imagine he's got some toe knocked out of that thing. I didn't think his contact was too big, so I'm surprised that it's going to be putting him out of commission. But lap number 1, catching a couple guys out already and causing some pretty big damage. Sucks whenever we've got 100 more laps to go in this thing. But you know, Pierce is a good racer. Just caught him out a little bit early.
I really do think I'm about to start picking guys that I don't like because the commentator curse is really making these friendships difficult.
The curse hit quick, didn't it? And yeah, like watching it back, Levine actually hit the left rear of Houghton pretty heavily. So not too big of a surprise that his right front's crinkled. Well, I say crinkled, honestly destroyed. So a tough break for a good chunk of these guys out in the field, but pretty quick caution as there was no lap down cars. Obviously lap number 1, so Pierce was a little short on his prediction. He said he'd make it 35 laps. Made it
35 seconds.
A corner and a half. I'll give you a corner and a half is close enough.
One thing that got missed there, though, Conklin sending a huge move to the outside through 1 and 2 to get the lead away from Quentin Warman. It's going to hand the race control to the 54 machine of Conklin now.
Yeah, and on that initial start, you know, the pole sitter really doesn't have an advantage. Both guys are going on green. Here, every restart forward, it's the leader that has the discretion of when you're going. So that's huge for Conklin to get that immediately, not even have to fight Quentin Warman. He's got the race lead. Now he can control this thing. If he gets clear down into 1, it's going to be smooth sailing for Conklin. I think he's going to do it on the restart easily away from the 84. Conklin going to be into the race lead, side by side for second, further back. It's a full Ryco top 5 right now.
Conklin stretching out to a nice advantage right now. Garrett Maines and Quentin Warman shaking it up for second place. Real tight battle coming through 1 and 2, but the advantage right now is honestly not going to go to either one of them. They're dead even still as they come into turn number 3.
Put these guys side by side for the second place spot. Maines just edging forward, trying to push that 84 up the racetrack ever so slightly. He's going to be able to do it. Maines taking the spot, easing himself into second place. It's still a bit of a hornet's nest further back. Patrick Gator down to the inside of Joseph Square, trying to get into the top 5. Yakov Kursanov on the outside, trying to make it 3 wide, but he just had a huge stall of momentum up on the top. Couldn't quite get that thing rotated and couldn't make the move. Some contact further back. I think Baldridge might have been in the fence.
Yeah, it might be a little bit too early in the tire cycle for these guys to really be able to go up against the wall and make big moves, but the middle line seems like it's very competitive right now while these tires are still kind of fresh. You see Johnny Baldridge up there on the top, and here comes Patrick Gitter up on the outside, trying to get by Joseph Square. This is the battle right now for the 5th position. Gitter's going to be able to get the momentum, get the power down, get down to the bottom in front of Joseph Square as they come through 1 and 2.
Top 8 single filed out, first side-by-side battle for the 9th place spot. Tommy Gossett down on the inside, trying to take it away. Seminario just out in front, taking away the clean air from Gossett, not letting him get on the bottom and rotate as nice as he wants to, letting him get a better run on the top side, but Gossett able to keep the side draft down the front straightaway.
Yeah, Tommy,
but they just kind of getting
finish.
this yo-yo effect, going back and forth.
Tommy with a real good finish in Friday night's NIS. Maybe learned something a little different last week, was really conservative a majority of that race and was able to get himself slotted up in there with a really good tire saving strategy. Here he is on the bottom. I'm wondering if he's trying to save what he's got right now, knowing it's too early to make a stab for the front.
Garrett Maines up at the front and is actually taking the race lead away from Sean Conklin. I don't know exactly what happened to Conklin, but he just got a slow run a little while ago, and Maines got to the inside, able to take it away. The one able to make the move, working lap number 8, it looks like. Both these guys side by side. Maines down on the bottom. Conklin had a better run through the center, but maybe just pushed it a little bit too far. Maines comes up, maybe a little bit of netcode contact. Saw a little twitch between the two, but then just side by side, both of them side drafting, slowing each other down the front straightaway. And then diving down into the corner. Maines just drives it in deeper, slides across the nose, takes the clean air away. And Garrett Maines up to the race lead early.
And this is one of those tracks for all that experience that Garrett Maines has running pro, everything that he's done to get to the level that he's at right now. This is one of those tracks, since it's so difficult and abrasive, it's going to be, he'll be able to lean on that experience a lot more than some of these other guys who don't have as much as him and can really make some of these people look kind of foolish pretty quick. See everything single file out, a little bit of side-by-side action here with Richard Garcia down to the inside of the 40 machine on the front straightaway here. Now, we'll say those EPI cars have been looking pretty stout the past 2 weeks. They were really good last week at Las Vegas. Looks like they found a little something that translates over to the Cup car, because they found something great with the B car last week. A really strong fight up there on that outside line right now, though.
Yeah, Himmel hanging on the outside. Johnny Baldridge trying to build a run from behind, maybe make it 3 wide, but he's not going to get it, not going to get it down the front straightaway. Garcia just entering side by side with the 40, but Himmel drives it in deeper. Closes the door between the two as they come through the corner. Not too much room between them. Garcia a little wide on exit, but still just going to be stuck side by side. Just seems like you get the lanes are so even through the corners, and the cars, well, there's not a lot of giddy up and go, and then you're just stuck in the side draft wars down the front straightaway. You get stuck in these side by side battles very, very easily, just slowing each other up, just burning each other's tires off. I don't think this helps either of these guys.
No, and the one right now waiting to strike right there behind him, 17 machine of Johnny Baldridge. Pretty good run for him so far. Up a little bit closer to the front than we've seen in weeks past. Doing a pretty good job out there tonight so far. Right in that top 15. But Emil's still putting a huge charge up on that outside line, really making it difficult for Garcia to get anything done. 40 machine looking pretty stout. Looks like he's got him cleared here as they come down the front straightaway. Give the spot to Brandon Emil.
Samuel takes P12, or sorry, P11. And now just stuck in another side-by-side battle. Garcia, I imagine he's already worn his tires out enough on the bottom with Brandon that it's just going to be pretty easy for old Bodridge here to get by him. A little bit easier, just sweeping in a little bit wider on the corner for Johnny in that number 17. But Garcia actually has a really good center of the corner, and the 39 actually gets down to the bottom of the quarter panel for Baldridge, and Garcia is able to clear him and at least find himself a home back up in 12. So not going to lose a spot out of that. So good news for Garcia, but man, that 39 is looking pretty quick right behind him. Brandon Evans is flying.
Yeah, Brandon Evans all over the back bumper of Garcia as they come down the back straightaway here. A little bit of clearance, but charging it back deep into 3 and 4. Both of them going up to the outside line now. Garcia deciding, hey, I'm going to get past this 40 machine while I can. But a little bit of a tight moment there for Garcia as he slides up the track, loses a lot of momentum. The question that I'm wondering is there going to be a point where that outside line, that, extreme right up against the fence? I'm wondering if there going to be a point where that comes into play as these tires start to get old.
All the way by the fence? I don't think so. Maybe the third lane, like right on the seam, but I don't think we see these guys go to the fence. In the B car, maybe. In this car, not.
iRacing needs to fix that. Come on now. So heartbreaking.
Well, it's a bigger help in cars with side force, and this car doesn't have side force. So to be fair, it does make sense a little bit. It helps the B car more than it helps the A car.
Oh, 3 wide down the back straightaway for a second. Tommy Gossett making a charge to the inside of Johnny Bodridge coming into turn number 3. Be dead even as they find themselves off the corner. Johnny going to get a little bit of an advantage on this front straightaway, though, using that outside line momentum. He's going to clear Tommy here. But Tommy getting a huge shot from the 25 machine.
Yeah, PB Henry getting it down to the back bumper of Tommy Gossett, shoving him down into the corner. Gossett able to take the spot back from Baldridge, and Shane Davis has a huge run off the corner as well, coming down to the back bumper of Baldridge. He's just going to have to give him a shot. Now he's stuck side by side with PB Henry, and he's going to go to the very, very outside line. Shane Davis starting to make it work.
Oh,
he's trying to prove me wrong. He's all the way up by the fence. Like you said, for the lead, Garrett Maines, Sean Conklin back side by side as Conklin's to the inside of Garrett Maines coming out of turn 1.
And Conklin's got it. He's going to try and throw a slide job on the one machine of Garrett Maines. He's going to get the job done, but here comes Garrett Maines back attempting a crossover coming out of turn number 2. And he's going to be back down to the inside of Conklin before they get into turn number 3.
Tight between the two, Maines side drafting him all the way down the back straightaway, sucking Conklin back, and then just able to clear him before they even get down to the apex of turn 3. Garrett Maines getting the lead back as soon as he lost it. But I think Conklin's just a little bit quicker right now. I mean, if he was able to take the lead that quickly, maybe the move wasn't completely done perfect, but he can get back by him and do it right the second time around. So I think Conklin's just got the better speed right now.
Conklin sticking it down on that bottom line, trying to get a little bit of air to the front splitter to build some kind of an advantage to that one machine of Maines. Not going to be able to find it here on the back straightaway this time, but he's going to dive it back down there into turn number 3 the same way as turn number 1. Not able to get the momentum, though. That midline pace that Maines has right now is really playing in his favor, as you see Quentin Warman starting to find his way back into the picture.
Now Warman onto the back bumper of these top 2. Maines running a little bit wider. Conklin able to get the clean air down on the inside of the racetrack, working lap number 21 here, crossing the 20% mark of the race. So we're getting closer and closer to thinking about strategy calls, right? Like, is this just a firm one stop dead in the middle, or is there enough tire wear where you think about making 2 stops under the 100 lap green flag period?
Well, with everything that I know about this car and what I've learned covering it this season with these wider tires, the lack of tire fall off compared to what we're used to seeing out of the B car and the old Cup car, I'm expecting just a one-stop strategy to be what works.
You're right. It's only 0.5 of fall off so far. That's
Junior was complaining about those big ass spoilers a few years ago. I'm complaining about these big ass tires now.
That's just gotta be more, dude. We've got to have more tire fall off than 0.5 over 22 laps at Homestead.
With with all due respect, that could be, set
It's
up a little
definitely
bit too.
realistic. Well, it's definitely realistic, right? Like I don't know. Maybe the real life tire is a little bit more worn out here at Homestead, but most places they don't wear too much, so it's not too surprising. But I just feel like we should get more.
No, absolutely. I miss the days where we'd get like a second and a half to 2 seconds to fall off everywhere we went. Such a great time period. Battle shaking up for second place, though. Quentin Warman diving down to the inside of Sean Conklin through 3 and 4. Not able to get it done, though. As Conklin sticks it to the middle line. Same thing we saw at Mainz a couple laps ago. But here comes Warman all the way up against the fence into turn 1 and 2.
Well, he's proving me wrong going way the hell up there.
Oh, and it's working, too.
It really is. He's getting a huge run down the back straightaway. Is he going to get side by side with Conklin? Look at this run from Warman. Holy crap. Quentin Warman from absolutely nowhere on the top side. Well, that proved me wrong in one corner. Not going to be able to complete the move as Conklin driven in deep. And now that wall is taken away from Warman. What can he do down on the inside now for second?
Here's the question. Did Conklin watch his mirror there, and did he learn something from Warman? Because Warman, the first guy to go up there and try it, and here you go. You see it working out. Warman's now going to take the second place position away from Conklin and slide up in front of him. The deal is done. Spot taken. Quentin Warman moves up to P2.
Starting to think Warman might have saved his tires the best out of the top 3. He's looking the quickest as of now, able to pass Conklin pretty easily. And now pulling up to the back bumper of Garrett Maines. Can he do anything with our race leader? Maines has had the lead just about nonstop since he took it on lap 10. One little abbreviated issue there with Conklin, but then Conklin fell off the back bumper, and now Warman trying to use that outside line, the wall slingshot once again off of turn 2. Can he do it again? The momentum he's got down the back, he's going to be able to get there.
Got a huge run as he dives down to the inside of Garrett Maines into turn 1. Maines running him tight. Into turn 3. Maines going to run him tight on entry, though. And exit's going to really steal that momentum away from that 84 machine of Quentin Warman as they come down to turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. A little bit of a door check between the two of them. Warman is still down there, though. Pulls him back with a side draft coming into turn number 1. Gets a little bit loose, though. Not going to be able to get the job done here, I don't think. But if I was these guys, I'd be worried more about the objects in the rearview mirror being closer than they appear, because these guys keep racing like this. Nicholas Roman's been back there saving tires since they dropped the flag. Hasn't done anything to this set, and he is slowly working himself back into the picture here.
Yeah, I was talking about the tires not meaning too much, but they are going to definitely still come into play, right? 6/10 of fall off is still something, and we're seeing it here as Warman's able to get down to the inside of Garrett Maines once again, down to the turn number 1. Warman trying to make it up, and like you said, Roman, who's been saving way off the top 3, is starting to pull his way back into the picture. He's less than a second back now as we come off of turn 2, and the leaders just don't look like they want to play it safe with each other.
Yeah, Roman on average right now, 1/10 faster than all 3 of the cars in this lead pack. 2/10 quicker than Warman, who's been stuck on the bottom trying to race Maines. He's finding himself into this picture really fast. As you see, Warman sending the thing all the way up against the fence again here in 1 and 2, trying to build that momentum, trying to make that same move down the back straightaway that he pulled on Conklin a handful of laps ago.
A little bit too high. Might have gotten in contact with the wall out of 2. It was so close to the wall that I just don't think it helped him out whatsoever. Coming off the corner, couldn't quite get the momentum that time. And maybe those tires are starting to hurt, right? He pushed him to get past Conklin, and using that outside line, maybe it's only got a limited number of uses per a tire set.
Didn't look like contact to me, but it did look like he had to crack out of it to get the nose to point again, because it looked like he got up there and got a little too high, like you were saying, maybe up in the stuff a little bit, and lost the front steer just a smidge, and really hurt his momentum down the back straight. When you see he's not trying it again this time through 1 and 2, he's going to stick to the bottom, maybe trying to cool those tires down and make another stab at it as we get later into this thing.
Yeah, and Garrett Main's starting to stretch his lead out as we are working lap number 30. So we're going to go ahead and step aside, take our first commercial break of the racing action. Whenever we come back, hopefully we've got green flag pit stops on the other side.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split A Open here from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. We're on board from Joseph Pisciata coming out of turn number 2. They were 3 wide just a moment ago. They're 2 wide in front of him now. Does he go down to the bottom, make it 3 again? Gonna run out of time. Pisciata just gonna look to the outside now through 3 and 4. Typically, I feel like the outside through 3 and 4 is probably the wrong corner for it. I feel like it's a little bit harder to get it working, but he's got the momentum coming down the front straightaway, getting it working for him. He's still going to stay committed to the top side, though, and they make contact in front. Kursanov and Heimel just about take each other out down into 1.
Yeah, Kursanov and Mule have been making a lot of contact here these past 2 laps. While you were talking a second ago, in 3 and 4, they did the same thing. Here comes Pisciata with a huge push, though, to the back of the 40 machine. Going to get him pushed way away from Kursanov as they come into 3 and 4. But
Pisciata's still ripping the fence, man. Looking him way out there by the wall, trying to do everything he can on the outside to keep the momentum up, and he's going to do it down the front straightaway. Take that spot away from Kursanov. Pisciata did not qualify. Started in 24th, up to 12th in the early run into this thing. Can he get up there towards the top 5? He was talking big game in the pregame, or in the pre-show, that he was gonna have a really good run here tonight. Didn't qualify. Started 24th, up to 12th early on.
Big moves for him, up 12 positions, but also big moves for Michael Conti, up 15, started 20th. Up there in the 5th position now, running not too far out of sight from your lead pack. As he's taking the fight right now to Sean Conklin here into 1 and 2, and they're side by side.
Yeah, I was about to say, he started 20th, and all of a sudden he's to the inside of a guy that was in the race lead not too long ago. Conklin just about wrecks it. Oh, man, put it in the fence. It might be a little bit harder to save a race car with one arm with a broken collarbone these days for Conklin. So a little bit of a tough break, but he's going to get beat out for this 4th place position, I believe, here through 3 and 4. Conti up to 4th. Good move from him, able to get it done, and now he can set his sights forward on Vroman.
Conti just out here showing why he's a household name for literally anybody in sim racing, up here in the 4th spot from just about as deep in the back of the field as you could possibly get. But right now, Vroman has gotten back up to 2nd place. Quentin Warman looks like he's getting ready to show us what he does week in and week out when it comes to that tire saving strategy.
Vroman down to the inside, trying to make this pass as quickly as possible, not lose too much time to your race leader. He's going to get to the inside, able to side draft his teammate down the front straightaway, and it looks like Warman's just going to give it to him down into the corner, not going to fight him too hard. They don't want to bring Conti into their battle for 2nd any faster than he's already climbing into it himself.
Also another guy that's made big moves this race, coming up from the 21st position up to position 9, Clayton Hoffman. Charging his way through the field here. Not as far as he wants to be up to the front, but looking pretty good as it sits.
And Hoffman having a good run in the early going. Gossett up to the, or I say up to, I thought he started a little bit further back. He started 8th, but he faded early back to 15th. He's gotten back up to 10th. So Tommy Gossett kind of on the rebound. I don't know if he was just going into ultra tire saver mode or what was going on for Gossett in the early going, but he was very, very slow. But now he's a 1/10 of a second faster than your race leader, running way back in 10th.
Yeah, Tommy just employing the same strategy we saw Friday night. He hit the nail on the head, doing a really good job out here trying to save tires. He knows how abrasive this surface is and how quick you can put yourself in a bad situation with your car's balance by overdriving it here. And doing a good job just keeping the pace in it and trying to be as good as he can at the end. Maybe definitely gave up a little too much at the start of this thing, but nonetheless, it's better to, give up too much time at the start than to give up too much tire at the start.
I agree that he gave up too much, but he's in the top 3 on lap times every single lap, only getting beat out by guys like Maines, Roman, or Conti. So everybody else on the racetrack, Gossett is consistently faster than, and those 3 that I named, he's trading fastest laps with. So that's how absolutely rapid that he's running right now. If this thing runs green and, well, I was about to say this, but, they're going to probably pit here in, 5 to 10 laps at max for the pit stop. So it's not like he's going to have too much more time to enjoy that fresher rubber.
So we were talking about Pisciata being so fast up there on the top. Right now, we're seeing the trade-off to run the top. Pisciata was up to 12th position in a handful of laps. He's fallen all the way back to, I believe, 15th. And he's just going absolutely backwards in a tailspin right now. So
he's about to lose
outside
16th,
line.
or go back to 16th, too. Benefield's just a little bit quicker than him.
Yeah, just proves once more that outside line is great for the short take, but, man, for the long haul, it kills you. You see Benefield taking a look down to the bottom of the 91 machine of Pisciata down the back straightaway here. Pisciata going to get the momentum, though, coming out of the corner. Going to pull him ahead until they get back into turn number 3. But, I mean, it's just going to be a handful of laps for that 83 machine, encompasses that 91.
Brendan Himmel, oh, my goodness. I mean, ripping the fence to the absolute max, but he got loose coming off. Able to save it a little bit further up the racetrack. Conti getting passed by somebody who's already taken tires. So the pit stops... the green flag pit stop sequence has started. Andrew St. Cour is the guy on the outside just ripping past those guys, now funneling down into 3. So how long do these leaders wait until they come down pit road? Who's kind of leading this this game of chicken?
I think we're going to start seeing them come in around lap 50. Personally, split the race in half. You're going to have the guys in the back come in a little bit early. The guys up front are going to try and push it a little bit longer so they can have fresher stuff at the front. But I'm expecting here in the next handful of laps, we're going to start seeing, your more competitive cars come down pit road.
Garrett Maines' fastest lap time of the race was a 33.419. We are 47 laps in, and his last lap was a 34.567. So just 1.1 seconds of fall off in 48 laps at Homestead-Miami. That's not a lot.
Yeah, it used to be that for 2 laps here, man.
Oh, Patrick Gitter having internet issues, I believe. Seeing sparks flying on the racetrack where they're not supposed to be flying. Oh, he might be teleporting back in. I see him a little bit further back now. So he might be all right. Patrick Gitter running in 7th. That would have been a little frustrating there if you're Gitter, but it looks like he's going to be okay.
No, man, he's just going back to the past,
Oh, is that what he was doing?
Yeah, he went back to 1955. He just got to play guitar and, hang out with his parents when they were kids. Pretty cool. Whole movie about it.
Well, here's your point, Sheldon. Lap 50. Is anybody going to come down pit road this time? Watching Garrett Maines, he's going to stay out on the racetrack, and I feel like as the race leader, you absolutely should stay out as late as possible. No reason to stay or to come in and risk a caution at this point. Wait for somebody else to make the first move. You've got that gap out on the racetrack, 1.6 seconds to second, 3.1 seconds to third, 3.3 to fourth, 3.7 to fifth. You've got the advantage. You got to stay out a little bit longer. Wait to see if anybody back here, like Sean Conklin, who gets loose out of turn 4. Maybe some of these guys start coming down pit road.
Yeah, we got a few takers already. Medeiros came in last lap. Brandon Evans and Johnny Baldridge coming in. Not the guys running up at the front of this thing, but these are the guys that are going to start, stirring that motion for these guys to start coming down pit road up at the front.
We did have that caution in the early going, though, so we've only run, really, 48 green flag laps, so you're thinking, all right, I need to split this thing exactly in half, that would probably be this lap right here in terms of green flag racing if it runs green all the way through. So is this the money lap right here for a lot of these guys? Still have not seen any of the front runners come down as we're watching Conti now starting to slide back through the field as his tires have started to falling off.
Gossett caught the fence a little bit coming through 3 and 4 there. Car looks pretty straight, just a little scrape on the side, but he's pushing the envelope now, trying to get as much out of these tires as he can, as he's right now in a deadlock battle with Clayton Hoffman. And Hoffman still just running down there on that bottom. This is the battle for 8th.
He hit the fence that lap, and he ran the same lap, or almost the same lap time as Garrett Maines. He was 100th of a second slower after hitting the wall. Like, that's how much Tommy Gossett saved in the early run. The problem is, it's put him 7 seconds behind. Like, it's too much that he's given up in the early going. Only able to get him, get himself back up to 9th. Just ends up not being enough here for Tommy.
Yeah, but he's charging as hard as he can right now. As you see him right up against that outside wall again here in 1 and 2. Trying to find that momentum to shoot him down the back straightaway to slingshot past that 7 machine of Hoffman. But Hoffman's just doing such a good job on the bottom. Tommy needs a big mistake out of that 7 to get an option to get to the outside, because I don't think that he's going to be able to clear him unless he's able to get side by side with him out of the corner. But right now, Tommy's just not able to get the momentum to get to the quarter panel to do anything with him right now.
And still none of the front runners willing to come down pit road. Conti losing another spot. Quentin Warman getting the 4th place position back from him. And now Joseph Squared is the next one on deck. The typical tire saver out of the group. He's starting to come alive here at the very, very end of this run. He's to the outside of Michael Conti, trying to get into the top 5. And I think he's a little faster than both of his teammates in front of him. Joseph could get up to the top 3 by the end of this run. He just needs a couple more laps in it. But Conti starting to come down. One other Ryco car in front of him.
Looks like Conklin in front of him and Patrick Gitter behind him. So this is it. This is where everybody's going to start coming in.
Seminario, Benefield, Pisciata all down pit road. Maines, Vroman, Warman still out on the racetrack, waiting to see if these guys decide to come down this time by, or if anybody pushes their luck and tries to go one more. Garrett Maines staying out on the racetrack, so he's going to wait a little bit longer. Vroman coming down this time. Quentin Warman coming down this time. He was sideways trying to get down to pit road. Able to get it down. Might have not gotten slowed down in time, so we're going to have to pay attention to Quentin Warman, whether or not he got down to pit road speed limit or not.
Look like an all-star pit road entry. Yeah, Maines staying out on track. Joseph Squared 6 seconds behind him in 2nd place. And Tommy 7 seconds behind him. And I don't see any situation where Joseph can really get back to Maines here. It's too late in the run now for, any opportunity to close in that big of a gap. If I'm Joseph, I'm bringing it down pit road and trying to undercut.
I can't believe that Maines is still out on the racetrack. I thought for sure he'd be coming in after everybody else had already pitted. He doesn't need this much of an advantage over him, but he's going to go ahead and take it anyway. He wants that advantage. He's going to try to stretch this lead out to as much as possible at the end of it. But he's going to be giving up a good bit of time the longer he stays out. But finally, it looks like he's pulling off of the banking. Coming down to pit road, your race leader, Garrett Maines, the guy that looks like he's got this race in hand. I got to say, I think he's going to be giving up the race lead through this pit cycle, but he's going to have a big enough advantage to get it back pretty quick.
He's giving up the lead for sure, but, I mean, with the advantage he had coming into pit road, as well as the fact that he's going to be on way fresher stuff than the guys behind him, I think he's going to be able to equalize that really quick and just shoot himself past to get the lead back in his control. Because I do believe it's going to cycle up to Nicholas Vroman in the lead.
6 cars still out on the racetrack. Hoffman, Kirsanov, Garcia, scratch Maines off of that. Scratch Joseph Squared off of that too. So actually just the 4 up there. They were down pit road just now, Maines and Joseph. As we're watching Hoffman, your current race leader, come down pit road. Watching Garrett Maines also get off of pit road, seeing if he does in fact get passed by anybody out on the racetrack. He's trying to keep that thing wound up down on the apron, not get a penalty. And he might actually still come out in the race lead. I thought for sure, with how many laps that he stayed out, I thought for sure Vroman would be able to at least pull side by side, right? But my word, Maines still a second out in front.
Barring a caution or an act from God here, this is pretty much how it's going to finish itself off. With that big of an advantage on tires as well as that much time on track, Garrett Maines is going to be untouchable for the rest of this field.
The only thing that could really harm him at this point is a caution. And you never know. With this this run being a little bit shorter than the last for a lot of these guys, maybe we see a little bit harder charging from some of the field. Maybe somebody makes that type of mistake. But currently not a lot of guys in a position to make that type of mistake. Not a lot of really, really close battles out on the racetrack, except for about P11 out there right now, Tommy Gossett. There's a couple guys right behind him lined up. P9 now.
Previous leader, Richard Garcia, you saw him coming down pit road, throwing on 4 fresh tires and getting some fuel. PB Henry now in control of this thing by just over a second and a half, but falling quickly into the clutches of Garrett Maines and Nicholas Roman.
Working lap number 61 here. We're looking at Brendan Himmel. Himmel in 11th. I am so bad at saying his last name, Sheldon. I don't know how you can say it. I cannot get that H sound before the meal.
Meal. You just say meal. Or just say meal. Oh, it's Shane Meal.
Meal.
Like that.
All right, there's going to be no H there for now on, Brendan.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
sorry.
put the H in there. That's good.
I just don't have the talent. It's just not in the. It's not the.
You're
It's not the
Alabama,
cards.
you have a little too much, brother.
Yeah, we got a little too much country accent in there. Can't quite get the H's.
Like you're putting the H before the W, and there's not even a W there.
PB Henry coming down pit road. Finally, from the race lead, handing it back over to Garrett Maines, who's got a 1.6 second gap over Nicholas Vroman. With 38 laps to go here from Homestead-Miami, the only thing that can really touch Garrett Maines at this point is a caution flag.
And Conti really fell back a lot with that pit strategy, too. Oh, sorry. Never mind. I thought that was Maines in front of him. See, Ken, you got to paint these things different. You're making me look dumb. I mean, I don't need help looking dumb.
I mean, yeah, I was about to say. Making you
it ain't
look
helping.
dumb.
It ain't helping. Thought he was a lap down behind Garrett for a second. Man, I look smart. You watch Gitter there, but all eyes back on Maines here at the front. Roman about to be put under fire by that 5 machine of Michael Conti.
Still in the early run of this thing, so how hard are these guys pushing the tires? Does Conti really want to sit in that dirty air for too long, or is he going to just try to find any possible lane through the corner? Maybe drop off the back bumper of Roman just ever so slightly in the early going. With him coming from 20th to probably 3rd or 4th before he started slipping, I think that he's got the pace in that thing to be able to go up there and maybe take 2nd from Roman by the end of it. But he's got to really, and more than that, if he was on even tires, I think he could go up there and challenge Maines, given the fact that he's only 2 seconds off of Maines as of now, and he started in 20th. I think Conti could definitely have a shot, but he's got older tires by 3 laps, so I think that takes him out of it for that. But Roman's absolutely on the cards for him. I think Conti is going to relegate Mr. Third Place to 3rd place.
If we end up getting a caution, though, for sure, that 5 machine of Michael Conti is going to be the biggest bane to Garrett Maines' existence for this race. But
to be honest,
right now,
if we get a caution, everybody puts on tires, anybody in the top 6 could win this thing, because them all going 100%, anything could happen.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if Roman sitting back there in 2nd place of that 95 machine. I know he's tired of us calling him the 3rd place ace by now.
For Dale. He's just paying homage to the greatest ever. But we've crossed that 2/3 threshold here from Homestead-Miami in the A Open. So we're going to go ahead and take our final commercial break of the racing action. Whenever we come back, we're going to bring this thing to the checkered flag.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Ryco Performance Monday night top split. We got the A Open going on right now. Garrett Main's up in the race lead. He's got a tire advantage and he's got a 3-second on the racetrack advantage right now. Just now hitting the start finish line. Coming down to 27 laps to go for Garrett Mains. Make it 26 as we funnel down to turn 1.
Monday night top split. Are you sure it's not the Garrett Mains charity race? Because he is gone.
I already have his sponsor plug ready.
Start practicing it now, I think.
No, we're good.
Everybody just kind of separated now. This, what you see when we come here to Homestead. A bunch of pack racing at the start of this thing. Once the tires start to wear out and the pit strategy start to come into play, everybody just singles out, gets drawn out really quick. You see a little bit of a battle shaping up right now with Tommy Gossett. And, well, that's a lap car behind him. Never mind, that's not even a battle. 25 PB Henry. It wasn't even Tommy Gossett I was looking at there.
I would have thought. You looked at a Ryco car and it wasn't the right Ryco car. PB Henry into the fence. We can tell that right off the bat. He runs the same paint scheme every week and it's different. Thank you, PB. No slight to Ken, but man, from the broadcaster's perspective, it makes it a whole hell of a lot harder. I can tell you that.
Oh well, yeah, he runs the same paint scheme every week too, but it's the same paint scheme times 8.
Man, I have a hard enough time in Formula One whenever every single team only has 2 of the same paint. I can never tell which one's which. And man, you throw 6 Ryco cars all starting up in the top 7. I ain't got a chance.
We'll just go back to the roof number differences, man. That was kind of handy. I mean, I didn't like it when we had, the checkerboard numbers. That was kind of weird, but hey, each their own.
You don't like the Jared Mogard route?
No, Jared Mogard's car, God bless him, but that thing gives me a
Mogard
headache every
staple.
week. That thing gives me a headache every week.
But I love it because I can know who it is immediately. Anytime we go to a replay of a wreck, I can immediately be like, I know that's Jared Mogard for sure.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Jared Mogard does happen to find himself in a lot of wrecks not of his own doing.
Well, that's true, too.
But we'll get to see that in about 30 minutes
22
or so.
laps. Yeah, just a couple more laps in the A Open, and then we get the B cars out here at Homestead. Going to give those things a whirl right after this one. So be sure to stay tuned. Coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight, we got the Ryco Performance Top Split, the B Open edition. So be sure to stay tuned for that.
I'll tell you, one person that I absolutely don't envy, and I know that position all too well. I got to go with that one machine of Justin Levine. Started this thing off lap 1, got caught up in an incident that he had absolutely nothing to do and no time to brace for, and unfortunately knocked the toe out on the right front of that car, and he's been dead since then, man. Sitting here, 12 laps down, just running practice laps, and none of this even really goes towards anything because car's completely killed.
It's not like there's much you can really learn from an outing like this either. Just being out there with a torn up race car from lap number 1, you're just out here to prevent any drop of points. But the problem for him, he's not picking up any points because nobody else is wrecking, and there's only one guy that he could lose a spot to behind. So is it even worth it? Given the fact you've stayed out here for 60 laps so far, probably. But in hindsight, I would have been dropping this race at lap 2.
Well, luckily for him, he's only got, 7 laps that he absolutely needs to run. Because by then, you're just not going to get anything because it'll be less than 12 laps to go then. But just a tough, tough night for Justin Levine. I'm going to quit picking you moving forward, man, because I keep jinxing you and I hate to see it.
Yeah, Sheldon, you got to be the most cursed announcer on the jinxes that I've ever seen.
See, open it up. Let us pick Garrett Maines again. Get a little parity in the field.
That's not. What do you mean parody?
We'll give the jinx to Garrett and see how he has to overcome it.
It's like an immovable, unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
Well, let me pick him 1 week, and then we'll find out if the jinx is real or if it's just psychological.
Okay, we'll have to do that. We'll have to do that. If Maines wrecks that 1 week out of any of them, only Sheldon can ever pick up.
No. They either win or they die. Either way, Garrett Maines in control of this thing now with almost a 4-second advantage over second place Nicholas Roman. Roman sitting here with Michael Conti still breathing down his neck, but it's kind of one of those situations if it doesn't look like Conti can really find an edge over that 95 machine in front of him. Because it seems like it's just really difficult to pass here this week.
Yeah, you're able to get side by side, and then you're just kind of stuck. One guy running the bottom, one guy running the first lane off of that. It's what I really hate about race cars that don't have a motor in them, man, and have too much tire. It's so hard to find an advantage over the guy next to you. And then there's so much drag in these daggum race cars that you're stuck side by side drafting the ever-living hell out of each other. Nobody's actually moving down the front straightaways. Nobody's got momentum unless you're offset at the beginning of it. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating from the driver's seat.
That's the thing that I love about this car, right? The drivers asked for less aero and more horsepower. What do we do? Less motor and more aero.
Underbody aero.
And we wonder why we go to the short tracks and this thing can't pass anybody. So make the cars harder to drive, they make them easier. I'm going to stop because I'm getting myself angry over here.
Intelligent business decisions.
Yeah. You see Conti sticking it down there on the paint right now, trying to get a little bit of clean air to the front splitter of that number 5 machine. Trying to go where Roman's not. Trying to stay out of the wake of that car to try and build some kind of a run here, but unfortunately the momentum line's that middle line, and that's where Roman's got that thing stuck at right now.
You have Roman riding that number 95 right in the lane it needs to be to just kind of stall Michael Conti behind him. Conti kind of forced in the same line. And like we were just talking about, we're racing boats. So kind of difficult if you have to run the same line as the guy in front of you to actually make any inroads on him unless you are significantly faster. And right now, Michael Conti just not at that threshold, just stuck about 0.2 of a second off of Roman's back bumper.
Still a 22 position gain from the start of this race in a car that we know struggles to make passes. In its own way, that's kind of a victory for Michael Conti in that 5 machine. Because for the most part, everything's kind of stayed stagnant throughout the field since that first run. Never mind, I thought he came from 25th. Whoops.
How many spots did you say?
I said 22. I am really tired.
My God.
I talked to our buddy Nick the other day,
That
and I
explains it.
think that he took the math brain cell from me finally. So congratulations, Nick might make it 2 years into college.
You
before he
talked to
fails out of
Brian
all his math
recently? It might have
courses.
been him that took it from you.
I avoid Brian because, look, I only got so many brain cells to shoot around here.
Coming to 11 laps to go here for Garrett Maines, your race leader. He's coming out of turn number 2 right now, down the back straightaway. Easily out front, 4 seconds since the pit stop. It's just basically been no challenge. Roman just hanging on to second. That's really where the main battle is. Kind of checking through the field to see if there's any other tight contested battles. Hoffman and Joseph Squared are battling for 7th. They're 0.3 of a second apart. But it's really just Joseph trying to battle through the dirty air as well. Gossett settled into ninth. Johan Scenario, the worst he's going to finish without an issue is 10th. It could be a battle a little bit further back between Meal and Benefield, but it's still got a little bit of a gap between them. So not too much on the racetrack.
And these next 9 laps are going to be the most excruciating for your race leader, Garrett Maines. Because if somebody spins it at any point in these next 9 laps, yeah, if something stupid, if one guy hits the apron and snaps himself around, Garrett Maines' entire race pretty much thrown out the window. Strong possibility that he could lose it because of just how aggressive people can be on the restarts on these things, and how much you can pick up from just sending it. And he don't want it. He wants to seal this thing off, wrap it up with a bow, and call it a day, move on to potential to be open here in another 30 minutes, or 20 minutes. You can't count.
We established that like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, well, I'm just reiterating. I can't do it.
We're learning a lot about you here, Sheldon. The brain cells are leaving. Party is knocking. Party's gonna be knocked for Garrett Maines after tonight, though. Pretty slam dunk victory for him.
Pisciata, who said he's the best there's ever been at Homestead-Miami Speedway, sitting in 16th position right now.
Is that what he said?
Something like that. He said,
Dang.
Homestead is my best track, so if this is your best track, Joseph, God bless you. We don't want to see you anywhere else.
Joseph Pisciata, more like Joseph Pissy Poo Poo.
You really just make a pee-pee poo-poo joke in the booth.
Hey man, his name is close enough. And he's a broadcaster, right? So he gets slack, just like Levine gets slack for just existing. That's what you get, just like you, Sheldon, for being a 3,000 iRating pooper.
I don't get any slack. I get cussed out like crazy when I race nowadays.
Exactly like that. Hey man, we all suck now. That's okay. It's impossible to be good in a car like this.
Which, the ironic part of
That's my
that
excuse.
is my best run in the past 2 weeks came from NIS at Vegas last Wednesday night. Make that make sense. Did no practice. Esther, I got a question, man. What do you think? What do you think could make me a better driver? Because I'm really trying to figure this out.
I don't know if I have an answer for you, buddy.
Live life. Oh, Johnny Baldridge really loose out of turn number 2. Sorry, that's not Johnny Baldridge. That is the 20 machine. Devin Medeiros. Sorry, Johnny. Not trying to throw strays at you. That was almost a crash, though.
Oh, man. Might have some broadcasting tips.
No, I swear, it's always
It's not a
serial
Ryco car. Get it right. I'll let the Ryco one slide. Those are excusable.
Absolutely.
We're going up to 4 laps to go. Garrett Maines has absolutely stomped him here tonight. I mean, 4.5 seconds to Vroman, who has still been able to hold on from Conti, so he's going to at least slay that third place ace nickname for a week or so. Conti rallying all the way up to 3rd. Warman going to be settling for probably 4th. Conklin looked like he was going to be a challenger for the win early, but he's faded back to 5th. Patrick Gitter not too far behind in the 6th place spot, but nobody else really going to be able to challenge. I don't think that there's any tight battles out on the racetrack for position on the lead lap.
Got one in the fence there, though. Looks like Tommy Gossett caught the fence a little bit coming out of turn number 2. No harm, no foul, though. Car in one piece, going to keep it going straight. Side by side here with Benefield and PB Henry.
Not battling for position, so the only thing that could happen out of this that means anything is a yellow flag, but it's not gonna happen. They're gonna come off the corner just fine, not have any issues. And even scanning further back, just not a lot of on-track action. First battle for position is Joseph Pisciata getting past Sareva for 15th here.
more of a New Hampshire race than a Homestead race, honestly. Based on intensity levels, you see Pisciata running up against the fence there, trying to hold that 20 machine at bay. But all eyes back to Garrett Maines as he comes out of turn number 2. 2 laps left in this thing. A couple lap cars in front of him, both teammates, not expecting, too much aggression out of them to stay on the lead lap, especially Levine as he cycles back down to 13 laps down, unfortunately. But out of turn number 4, Garrett Maines is going to lead him to the white flag here. No more cautions. Next flag ends it.
It's been a long 100 laps here from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Garrett Maines, after the pit stop, just had absolutely nobody to worry about. There has not been any action on track since that green flag pit stop, unfortunately. But that's fortunate for Garrett Maines because he has not had to deal with anything other than a couple of lap cars here and there. He's going to get past another one down to the inside of turn number 3 for the final time here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway in the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split A Open. Garrett Maines will come off at turn number 4 to win in Miami.
The 5.5 second advantage over second place Nicholas Roman. Talk about an old-fashioned butt whooping.
Garrett Maines absolutely dominating the field out here tonight in the A Open, not giving anybody else a chance. He led the last 60 or so, 70 or so laps. So what's happening now?
Bianchini and Medeiros wrecked coming to the start-finish line to finish the last lap. Medeiros got the short end of the deal on that.
Go figure. Wreck on lap 1, less than a corner into the race, and a wreck on lap 100. Less than a corner away from ending the race. Who would have possibly thunk it here tonight from Homestead-Miami? But that's what we got. Garrett Maines is going to be the guy to bring home the checkered flag tonight. We're going to take a quick step back so we can get our top 3 in the broadcast booth, hopefully, and we'll step away for a moment and bring them to you. Welcome back to the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split. Garrett Maines has just finished up the A Open in the race lead, so he brings up the checkered flag. Nicholas Roman in second. Michael Conci rounds up the podium. Quentin Warman in fourth. Sean Conklin fifth. Patrick Gitter in sixth. Clayton Hoffman seventh. Joseph Squared in eighth. Tommy Gossett ninth. And Johan Seminario is going to round out the top 10.
In 11th place, we got Richard Garcia, followed by Adam Benefiel in 12th. 13th is going to go to Brandon Meal, followed by Yakov Kirsanov in 14th. 15th is going to go to Joseph Pisciata with Ross Ararva in 16th. 17th is going to be James Houghton with Johnny Bodwrench, Devin Medeiros, and Guillermo Bianchini rounding out your top 20.
21st is Speed V Henry. 22nd is going to be Shane Davis with 23rd Derek Heitman. 24th Andrew St. Cour. 25th Justin LaQueen. 26th is Roger Pierce, and 27th is Brandon Evans. That's going to do it for your full field rundown here at the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split, as we have officially lost our minds. But we're going to go ahead and go to our post-race interviews, and unfortunately we could not get in touch with our third place finisher. He did not find the Discord, so we're going to pull up second place of Nicholas Roman. Sheldon Atkins is going to be standing side by side with him.
Nicholas Roman, man, I hate to say it again, but second place performance tonight. What did Garrett have on you guys, man? Because he just completely stomped the field this evening.
All right, man. Is it fucking, am I Mr. P3 or Mr. Second Place? Like, what are we doing here? What am I? I got to know what I am before I answer these questions.
You're slightly improving.
Yeah, you're
slightly improved. So I'm like the Coke stock. Like, it's slightly improving. I'm up like 1 penny. Is it?
I mean, you're up from third to second.
Well, first off, I want to talk about my children out here. You know, Conklin, Warman, and Baines, man. It's so, like, I feel like a proud, like, you know, papa, like, watching my kids grow up before my eyes. You know, what a great job they're doing. You know, they're all three are up there running good, man. Treating each other nicely, which is not normal. We don't fucking do that normally. But, you know, racing each other with dignity, and it's amazing to watch it. Seriously, it's like watching your own kids grow up before your eyes. It's a beautiful sight. But they still got whipped by this old ass man. Two of them did, so fuck them.
I was about to say, that was a very uncharacteristic answer until then.
Yeah.
That made more sense.
I'm getting absolutely teary-eyed up here just listening to this. But I noticed with that last pit stop, man, I was expecting you to gain so much with the undercut. Did something happen with you on pit road on that last stop, or?
Nah, I'm just slow shit. That's my first pit stop in a long time at the track, so just slower than dog shit, you know. Fucking entering pit road, I don't know how much time I lost. I probably lost a shit ton of time. But not Garrett, man. He just had like that. He was able to like have that short run pace and keep like the speed. So like I kind of had to save a little bit to keep the speed he had at the end. So I don't know. Dude's a fucking alien. I think he was born in fucking Mars or something.
So, old man Vroman, are you expecting to come back and beat these, you know, little kids' asses on Friday night, or?
Fuck no, man. I'm gonna go get my ice cream here at McDonald's, senior ice cream or something, and then it's past my bedtime. Friday night, I don't know. I think it's bingo night. Might go play some bingo. We'll see.
Might be the way to go. Who do you want to thank for the second place performance?
Who do I want to thank? I don't know. Whoever worked on the set, thank you. Quentin. I think Quentin worked on the set, so thank you, Quentin. He's the man. Look out! You heard it here first on this broadcast. Look out for him, man. He's gonna make Coke. He's gonna win 4 fucking races, and he's gonna win the championship. You heard it here first. Quentin Warman. It's like me, but I'm Roman, but he's Warman.
Well, hot takes from Nicholas Roman here tonight. Gonna hand this one over to you, Austin, and Garrett Main's coming up here in a second.
Yeah, that was some next level insight. I gotta say, we should have him in the broadcast booth sometime during our race. But next up, we're gonna pull up our first place finisher. And well, that's I'll let you all take a stab at it. Yeah, it's Garrett Maines again. He's come home with the checkered flag from the Homestead-Miami Speedway, leading the last 70 or so laps. It felt like Garrett, you absolutely ran away with this one after the pit stop. Got yourself a good tire advantage. But what was it about you over the course of that first run? Were you able to, you were able to stay up in the top 3 the whole run, and then you kept the tires on it whenever everybody else that was running with you at the beginning faded?
I honestly have no idea where that speed came from. I kind of wish that I was just that tick better in the Coke race. I mean, we had a really good car, but this is probably the second or third year in a row that I could say my A Open car was better than my Coke car here. So it was just, spot on. It's exactly what I needed there, and I was able to, just have the perfect balance basically throughout the whole run. And I kind of thought Quentin was going to be able to do something there. I didn't realize how hard he was pushing, but once I got to settle in there, just, I had the strategic advantage. As long as we didn't get a yellow, I felt pretty confident.
You just quaking in your boots, waiting on that yellow flag to come out over the course of the last 20 laps or so, just knowing it's just one little mistake away.
Oh, I was counting the laps. Every single lap, I was just like, man, if we're going to get it, please let it come now. Don't let it be 6 to go again. Because it's every time it feels like, when they got the race wrapped up, it's caution, make it green, white, checkered. But, I'll definitely take it. It's really refreshing to be able to get a clean finish. And, we've got a few of those lately, and it makes a huge difference. It's a lot of fun to, know that you you can kind of plan for the actual, you know, the actual race and not, you know, some lottery there at the end.
Well, Garrett, congratulations on your win again tonight, bud. Who do you have to thank at the end of this one?
Well, huge shout out to the guys at Ryco Performance for a phenomenal car. I really don't think I could have asked for a better car this week, so big thank you to those guys. Big shout out to Scott at MCU Body, and thank you to Linux as well.
Alrighty, that was your race winner, Garrett Maines, here tonight from the Homestead-Miami Speedway in the A Open. We're going to go ahead and close out the stream for a little bit so that we can jump over to the B Open, get it switched over. So be sure to stay with us. About 10 minutes time, we will be right back for the B Open from Homestead-Miami. Welcome back to GridVision for some more Ryco Performance Monday night top split action from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. I am Austin Edstrom, standing alongside Sheldon Adkins and Austin Derbyshire behind the production booth here. And we are going to get an overhead view of the Homestead-Miami Speedway here in South Florida as we come down on the overhead of the racetrack. Going to get a look at this big 1.5-mile track down in Homestead. A lot of wear on the track in real life, but we just found out in the A Open, not too much tire wear. Sheldon, are we going to see more tire wear in the B Open?
Significantly.
Ooh.
This track in the B car, with the lack of downforce, the comparable amount of power, you're going to see a lot more tire wear, but most importantly, you're going to see the lines open up a little bit more. These cars significantly more side force than what we have in the A car, which means they can get up there on that pocket up against the wall and just absolutely fly. At least it's been like that in the past. Might be a little bit different. You never know with the dynamic track conditions here on iRacing, kind of always being a revolving door on what works. But I'm expecting to see people go up against the wall and be fast. I'm expecting to see people all the way down to the bottom.
We're going to go ahead and move into our broadcast picks real quick here on GridVision as qualifying is coming to a close. Up first, myself, I'm going with Justin Levine. I think he's going to bring home the checkered flag tonight. He's been on a little bit of a slide. I think he bounces back.
I'm going to put the commentator curse accusations to rest. I'm going with Garrett Maines. Of course, if it doesn't work out for Garrett Maines, then obviously the commentator curse is real and I got to quit talking.
Or just quit picking. You can talk during the race, just don't give predictions. But our producer here, Austin Derbyshire, is going for Mr. Two in the Pink, one of the Dink, Trent Dinkle himself. And well, Trent Dinkle is up on the pole once again tonight, 100th of a second in it over Brandon Schmidt. Justin Smith going to be starting in third, Garrett Maines in fourth, Landon Williams rounding out the top five with Randy Nichols on his outside in sixth. Eddie Rose starting in seventh, Cody Dahl in the 8th place position with Daryl Hahn and Chris Mathis rounding out the top 10.
In 11th place, we've got Robert Warrens, followed by Johnny Avila. In 12th, 13th is going to go to James Morris with Adriano Gomez in 14th. 15th is going to be John Williams with Braden Polt in 16th. 17th is going to be Justin Levine, followed by Scott Lamp in 18th. 19th is going to go to Chris Frost, and rounding out your top 20 is going to be Brandon Burkhardt.
21st is Nolan Hodgson with Cameron starting on his outside in 22nd. Sean Anderson lining up in 23rd with Jared Mogard in 24th. Travis Dart lining up in the 25th place position with Dylan Murcott on his outside. And then rounding out the 27 car field here tonight, it's going to be Ryan Van Henstenschiel. Field is still gridding up here, about 30 seconds left in it as we're getting a little overhead here of the entire grid. Still see a couple cars on the outside, maybe one down on the inside lane, waiting to get out on the out there on the racetrack. Trent Dinkle, your pole sitter here tonight. And a little bit of a reminder, we do have a little bit more racing coming forward this week ahead on GridVision. Tomorrow night we've got the Spartans Masters Series coming at you live at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. That is also going to be from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. And then on Friday night, we're going to be right back here again for some more Ryco Performance Friday night top split at 9 p.m. Eastern. Pretty similar schedule all the way until we get to the end of the NASCAR season with the Ryco Performance races staying alongside us until the end of the NASCAR year.
I say, though, pretty close up there in times between Schmidt and Dinkle. Just a little bit over 100th of a second separating those two for the pole. Pretty competitive looking based on qualifying times all the way through the top 10. Everybody's separated by less than a 10th of a second.
On the initial start, would you rather be on the inside or the outside? Because you both have to go on green for the first jump. So would you rather be starting second?
I'd rather be on the outside, yeah. But it all comes down to how well you execute, that reaction time of getting to the gas. Because if Dinkle gets a good launch down there on the bottom, just gets going by a fraction of a second, you're going to be stuck up on the top line. Not going to be able to do much, but here we come to the line.
The green flag is flying. Dinkel, Schmidt to the gas, and it's pretty even between the two as we come across the stripe. It's going to be a dead heat coming down into turn number 1. Dinkel with the shorter line through the corner. Might be able to pull clear before we get down to the center point. Schmidt a little bit
loose.
twitchy on the center point, losing a little bit of ground. 3 wide, maybe 4 as we come out of the corner. Oh man, one car way down to the inside, onto the apron, able to save it. But a battle for second rages on as Garrett Maines is trying to take the spot.
And Schmidt almost had that same incident we saw in the A Open a little bit ago. Got up there on that middle seam, and around she almost went. A good job for him to keep that thing straight. But we see Maines side by side with Smith down the front straightaway here. This is the battle for second.
And Maines was twitchy off of turn 4. I thought there was maybe a chance that he would make a little bit too big of a mistake there. It was very tight between the two. I thought he might have ended both of their races, but it was not to be just yet. Trent Dinkel up in the race lead after starting there in the pole, or on the pole just a couple of laps ago, has not relinquished the lead, but Garrett Maines is hungry, looking hungry for it, and Dinkel's a little twitchy here on the quarter tires. Let Maines just get a little bit closer. He's kind of bridging that distance. He's getting to the back bumper of him quickly.
What I'm seeing right now is a difference in line, too. Dinkel doing a really good job of keeping it tidy down there on the bottom, but that could potentially wear those rear tires just a little more than he wants. Maines doing a much better job of letting that car do what it wants under load. You're going to see it here in turn 3. I imagine Maines is going to get right down there on the bottom. You're going to see Dinkel stay about a half a lane lower. Maines is going to ride that thing all the way out to the wall, and that's going to be what really helps him later in this race. As you see it happening right here out of 4. Maines up to the top just a little bit quicker. A little bit slower at the start of the run, but, man, that's going to save him so much on that right rear as we get later into the stage.
A lot of single file through the top 10, but a lot of racing a little bit further back, 2 wide for about 5 or 6 rows in the mid-pack. A couple of these guys getting it sorted out. Adriano Jaguar Gomez a little bit further up. He's diving to the inside of a couple guys. Cody Dole and Gomez super close, and somehow Gomez goes onto the apron through 3 and 4,
he just about loses
catches
it.
Oh, he slides it through 3 and 4, still sliding off the exit of the corner. It looked like he might be on board to gain 2 spots in one corner with that late dive, but it almost turned into a disaster.
Just trying to get the car to do too many things all at once, and it just about came around on that 19 machine, but one impressive drive to keep that thing straight, because once they get that far sideways here at Homestead, they're pretty much gone. See him try to defend from an attack of the 95 machine of Robert Warrens, and here comes Justin Levine trying to split the middle. Not able to get the momentum down, though.
Not a lot of patience in the early going. These guys are racing like it's the last lap here in the mid-pack early on. Levine from 17th to 11th. I gotta say thanks, Joseph, for the good sport, or being a good sport about the middle school humor in the A Open. But hey, Sheldon might have oversold your statements beforehand. He said that you were the best there ever was, man. Sheldon, were you lying about Joseph
Me?
in the A Open?
Me tell a fib? No.
Oh man.
No, you're the best commentator I've ever worked with, Austin. I'd never lie to you.
That was fantastic.
Right now, everything kind of single filing.
I felt like that was close between him and Hodgson.
We got a battle shaking up right now, though. John Williams, this is a battle for 14th, side by side with Robert Warrens, coming here into turn number 3. And Robert's just kind of put himself in the wrong position multiple times here these past couple laps and just keeps hemorrhaging positions. I think the car's got more pace in it. He's just not been lucky enough to put it where it needs to be. And you see Williams fighting really hard here on the bottom, but Robert doing everything he can to try and keep up on the top.
Williams just about to clear him coming out of 2. Warrens might have given a little bit of throttle coming out of the corner just to avoid a wreck. But Williams clears him for the position. A little bit further up, Levine looking for another spot. Adriano Gomez still hanging on to the right rear of Levine through the corner. They might be 3 wide coming off. One car way wide to the top side. That's Johnny Avila. But Levine's going to find a hole in between them and move himself up to the 10th place spot. And Lamp goes diving down into turn number 1 on Gomez as they go side by side into turn 1. Can Gomez get the run on exit? A little late up the corner there for Lamp, but they keep it off of each other. It looks like he's got the spot too.
These guys, you see them being absolute Absolutely aggressive sending these things into the corner. But the trade-off for that is that rear-end stability. You send it in there that deep and that fast, the car is just going to absolutely snap around on you coming through the middle of the corner. So you're giving up your corner exit for your corner entry, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We saw Gomez send it down there earlier and get just dead loose. Some drivers can handle it, some can't. And right now, watching Levine as he works on the back bumper of Johnny Avila down the back straightaway here, ducking it down to the bottom, trying to make the move, coming into turn number 3. Is he going to send it like we've seen these other guys do it, or is he going to ride it more conservatively?
Levine up from 17th in the early going, man, and he's trying to break into the 9th place position. He's already into the top 10, but the problem is Lamp is all over his back bumper too. If he doesn't get this move done, Lamp might be there to pick up the scraps.
Avila in the fence.
Oh, well, that might be a freebie then. Levine down to the inside. Can he get it and get the gas pedal planted and be able to clear Avila? It doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. Off of turn 2, Avila with the momentum coming down the back. Able to clear himself back as we come back down to turn 3.
Bean still looking down the bottom. Avila all the way up against the fence. The best part about Homestead is the options that you have with lines, but we saw it in the A Open. Avila, the guys running all the way up against the fence. We saw it with Pisciata. The tires came back to bite them really fast, and we're still very early in the run, so I'm expecting it to be a really hard cliff for Avila as we get later on. But Levine doing a good job running the bottom and the middle, trying to find that momentum, but not able to find it on that 63 machine as it sits.
Side by side right in front of Levine, Cody Dahl, Johnny Avila going at it. Avila really using that top side. He's using it early on in this thing, just 12 laps in, ripping the fence around the outside of Cody Dahl. Moved himself up to 8th. Now, is it too early to be using the top side like that? Are you going to be coming back really quickly?
I feel like it's way too early to go up there. I mean, we see it week in and week out here in the B Open. We see it in the A Open. People go up there and they're really fast for about 5 or 10 laps, but it just comes back and bites them really quick. I'm expecting to see pretty much the same here, if not a little bit quicker, because this track is worn out and abrasive as it is. It really fights the tires very fast.
Levine used the outside through 1 and 2 to get the momentum on Dahl, and then took the bottom side in 3 and 4, took the spot, moved himself up to 9th, and now they're side by side again. Cody Dahl, in the matter of 2 laps, losing 3 positions. Avila, Levine, Lamp, all by him. Dahl's starting to bleed spots.
You see Levine content to throw my advice completely out the window. But we have a battle for the lead shaking up right now. Garrett Maines to the outside of Trent Dingle here in turns 3 and 4.
Maines was just under pressure a couple laps ago from Justin Smith for second. And we look back, and Garrett Maines is going around the outside of Trent Dingle for the race lead out of turn 4. He's trying to go back-to-back tonight from the Homestead-Miami Speedway, and he's putting himself in position to do it here early, only 15 laps in. And Maines already up in the clean air.
Garrett Maines, my announcer's pick for the race, up here at the lead already. Where's it come back and bite him? No shot.
The timing is unbelievable. He just lagged out of the race as soon as you said that.
There's no way.
I mean, I'm telling you, the second you finished that sentence, I read the chat and that message popped across. That is unbelievable.
Dude, I'm cursed.
I'm sorry for the indistinguishable laugh. That sounded like I was an alien, but I'm just dumbfounded. And that was that timing. I mean, you started talking about the curse and he lags out.
All right, from here on out, I'm not picking anybody. Never again.
There's no way.
I'm picking the pace car every week. So get that graphic ready to go.
Yeah, we're blacking out your pick slot. You're not picking
just
ever
big
again.
old sensor bar and just bleep it out. I cannot believe that just happened. I know Garrett's probably punching air right now. There's no way. The odds. That is insane.
That's unbelievable. I'm sorry. I'm so dumbfounded. It's going to take me a moment to get my thoughts back.
Well, everything falling into Trent Dinkle's hands now as Garrett Maines gets hit with the worst commentator curse of all time. I'm so sorry, Garrett. I didn't know it was real, but now I do.
It's freaking real. It is so real.
As long as I've been broadcasting, he's never had internet issues. Like, that's
I've
ridiculous.
never seen him lag out of a race. I've never seen him lag out of a race. And we've been banned from picking him for a long time, and we open it up one time and he lags out.
It's months to build up, man. But Trent Dinkle running away with it now as he builds an advantage to second place Justin Smith. I'm kind of afraid to say anything nice about Dinkle because we saw what happened to the last guy. I did that too.
Yeah, just don't give any predictions at all. You don't say anybody's doing good. Nothing like that.
Working all the way up against the fence, though. Battle for 9th place. Justin LeQueen. On drive by Cody Dahl.
Levain's actually been losing spots, man. He's been struggling. He's been fighting with a lot of these guys. He fought through the field a little bit too hard, too early, I think. Ran from 17th up to about 8th. And now he's dropping back, man. Outside of the top 10 to 11th, and Dahl down to the inside. Trying to take it from him and demote him back to 12th.
I think he went up to that top line too quick. And it's just coming back to bite him. I'm scared to talk about anybody now.
I was thinking about with the silence. I was like, I think Sheldon's just kind of frightened.
I'm
How
afraid.
about we give you a little break? We let you work up the nerve by going to a little bit of a Ryco rev it up.
Good call.
All right, we're coming back from the Ryco rev it up here as Justin Levine is ripping the fence through turns 1 and 2. Just trying to hang on. He's been on the backslide, but actually the last couple laps, it's got to come back to him. Working his way up into 9th. It's been a bit of a roller coaster for a couple of these guys, but that's what I like to see, right? The A car, the next gen, it's a little bit more straightforward. You got so much tire to work with. Here in the B car, I mean, Justin Levine was a comer, then a goer, and now he's a comer again.
Yeah, Levine doing a good job, logging some solid laps here, getting back into it. I think he's probably gotten up there and figured out what that car needs to really work up against that outside line. You know, it takes a little while for you to build confidence in it and figure out exactly what you need to dart forward while going up there. I mean, we see 3rd place, Brandon Schmidt. He's been all the way up against the fence on both ends of the track, too, and it's working pretty well for him. Got a battle shaking up here. It looks like it's between Nichols and Lamp.
Levine just tagged the wall right behind these guys out of 4 with the right rear. Just a little bit of a touch. Ended up losing the spot to Williams, trying to rip it back around the outside again. Get the momentum back on him. Try to take the spot back, but currently Levine in 10th. Williams up to 9th. Levine looking like he's just settling with riding behind Williams. Or at
Big
least
shot
to the
to
top
Williams.
lane.
Levine gave the chrome horn to that 5 machine coming into turn number 3 and really set him sideways there for a second. Good save from the 5.
I'm a little bit more used to running the next gen. You can hit a lot harder in that one, right? You gotta be a little bit more careful in these things.
I don't know. I don't think Levine really cares who he hits, just as long as he's hit him.
Maybe. You might be right. You might be right. Maybe he was trying to wreck him and failed.
Yeah. Levine's not the nice guy anymore.
I want to try your commentator curse powers out again.
Oh, no, not on Justin. He would actually hurt us.
Well, I mean, like, should we pick a target? Like, is there like a target that we really need to take out of this race?
I mean, Trent Dinkle's won just about everything this year, right?
Well, but what do we have against Trent Dinkle?
I don't know.
Which, I mean, I guess we don't really have anybody or anything against anybody in the field, to be honest. I'm not. I guess we wouldn't be picking it off of that. But I mean, would we just be picking the race leader just to pick the race leader, or?
I think we'll roll with Mogart just because of that checkered print on the roof. It irks me.
Because we were talking about him in the A Open.
Yeah, it's
Jared
between that
Mogard is now between the crosshairs of the commentator curse.
Okay. Mogart's all right. I guess we won't bully him too much, but
He has about 25 laps to live.
that was ominous.
I mean, it's the curse that you carry with you. I mean, I don't know what to say. I've just never seen anything like what I've just seen with Garrett Maines 10 laps
didn't
ago.
even know
I mean,
that
I was literally left speechless.
You and me both, buddy. You and me both. You heard it here. I didn't talk for like a good minute.
Well, as the field is kind of strung out, not too many battles on the racetrack, we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a step aside. Our first commercial break of the B Open. Whenever we come back, we're going to have green flag pit stops.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to GridVision for some more Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. We got the B Open going on right here, right now, working lap number 38. Trent Dinkel is your race leader, and we are coming up on those green flag pit stops, but we did have a crash that just about put a stop to that coming out of turn number 4. Oh, the little right rear after coming off the wall. What a save. Who in the world was that he made contact with? Because that was a hell of a save
Brandon,
to keep this race under
it was
green.
Burkhardt he got into there.
Ooh.
As
Great
one
save
heck
from
of a
Brandon
drive.
Burkhardt.
One heck of a drive from Brandon Burkhardt to keep that thing pointed in the right direction and not torn up. And
He made contact with the outside wall. There might be a little damage, but it's not massive. If it's just to the right rear, if he gets a caution, he can get that fixed up and he'll be a-okay. That was a heck of a save there to keep himself on the lead lap and keep this thing green, but he is going to want a caution.
yeah, majority of other guys there I feel like would have probably looped that thing, but worked with Brandon before. The guy's got a lot of talent behind him. But everybody single filed out right now for a majority of the field here. It's looking like what we saw in the A Open. It's just so hard for people to really do anything to set themselves apart from the guy in front of them. As you see, the 95 proving me wrong here. Not for long, though. It's that bottom line coming back strong.
Levine's still just playing defense. He's kind of been fading, been struggling here recently. Over the course of the last 10 or so laps, just doesn't have the long run pace in that machine. But they are side by side behind him, kind of giving him a little bit of a buffer here in that 11th place spot. The 95 down to the inside. Warren's trying to pick up the spot. Cody Dahl trying to hang on, rotate the top side of the racetrack with a little bit more speed. Trying to keep the momentum. The 95 not able to get clear. Cody Dahl keeps himself in the fight for the 12th place position. And even with these guys fighting behind him, Justin Levine just cannot pull away.
Oh, Levine, big slide through 1 and 2. Just about lost the back end of that race car. He's going to be stuck in the middle right now with Robert Warren to the bottom and Cody Dahl to the top, and Levine, unfortunately, going backwards. Heck of a good save out of him, but this is all working into the favor of that 12 machine of Nolan Hodgson, as you see him get up here to the middle of these guys as they're still side-by-side racing for 13th.
Cody Dahl able to prevail for now, but Warren's still trying, still doing everything he can, diving back down to the inside of the racetrack. He seems to be a little bit quicker than Dahl, but just cannot get the move completed, cannot get clear, not able to rotate through the center of the corner just well enough to make the move done. Cody Dahl still able to hang on, and now they are single file. Levine has lost out a good chunk of positions now, back to 14th. Still trying to rip the fence, but just does not have the turn in that thing to do it.
Oh, and Cody Dahl just about loses it in front of Warren's, and Warren's almost loses it, trying to keep it off of him.
Holy cow, and now they're side by side right behind. Warren's hanging on to 12th, and with a little bit warmer tires now after that slide out of turn 4. Nolan Hodgson way to the outside, trying to take advantage of the mistake.
It's a smart move for Hodgson to stick it up there against the fence. You see where these guys are getting loose. It's down the bottom end of the racetrack. Nobody has enough grip to make that bottom line work. But the problem is, if you're trying to make passes, you want to go down there. And especially if you don't want to cheese the tires off. And unfortunately, you see how difficult it is for the 12 machine to get anything done, though. It's just nobody has any grip to do anything with right now. And it's making it impossible for these guys to pass because each line is so equal. See Hodgson send it down to the bottom. We're going to pull a slide job on that 95 machine of Warren's. Warren's going to dive it back down to the bottom, try to cross him over here on the back straightaway. I think we dead even coming into 3, but I feel like the 12 is going to be the one to prevail here as long as he doesn't clip the seam the wrong way. Nope, here comes the 95 back with a huge slide.
Oh, getting a wrecking call somewhere. I don't know. Oh, Scott Lamp. It's Scott Lamp. The right front is destroyed on the number 2. I mean, absolutely destroyed. I don't know exactly what happened coming off of turn number 4.
We saw Scott Lamp dealing with a really bad loose issue with that car a handful of laps back when we were watching him battle up in the top 10. Wondering if that thing might have came around on him a little bit.
No, he got help. Soon. He had help. He was clear coming off of turn 4 and got destroyed.
You see Nichols all the way up there against the fence. I'm imagining that's probably going to be the arrow in this situation. And yeah, unfortunate break for Scott Lamp.
Tough break there for Scott Lamp coming out of turn number 4. He had him cleared, had the move done, thought that the 26 was going to go for the cutback, but just mistimed it, didn't get down in time, and unfortunately wrecked Scott Lamp in the process. Lamp down pit road. No yellow flag either, so we stay under green, and those pit stops are probably around the corner.
How about this guy up front, man? Every track that we've been through this year, Trent Dinkle has had something to say about who wins the event. At least in the top 3, predominant amount of the time, winning these things. You're seeing tonight, everybody is struggling every which way with grip and being able to pass and being able to find pace. Trent Dinkle up here pretty much with this field on lock with a 3-second advantage to his teammate behind him, Justin
huge
Smith.
wreck out of turn 2, Chris Frost. And I believe the 20, Dylan Murcott destroyed. I cannot believe we have not gotten a yellow for this. Dylan Murcott's hood is literally blocking his vision. It was huge wreck between 2 cars coming through turns 1 and 2. Chris Frost, Dylan Murcott getting together. A lot of damage. Like I said, Murcott was just about stopped in the middle of the racetrack, but still no yellow.
Murcott still driving around here with that hood absolutely dipped up to the windshield. I don't know how he's able to see to get himself in pit road, to be honest.
He might be seeing something a little bit different than what we're seeing.
Nope. Well, it's closed. There we go. See what happened here. See 20 machine of Murcott all the way up against the fence here. And
Frost just lost it.
Dead
Where's
sideways in Murcott, nowhere to go.
There's no yellow. Okay. I think Frost was sideways with Murcott right behind him. I would think that a yellow flag would come out for that, but hey, we're not going to get it. 2 destroyed race cars coming off of turn number 2. No yellow. We're staying green.
There you are. You just see that slide, and it's, that's what I've been talking about. These guys don't have much grip. You get up there in the top line, and you get on that seam a little bit, and around she goes. There's not really much warning. It just comes around on you. There's nothing you can do to get it back to you. These cars are really finicky once you get on that right rear tire for a little too long. But Dinkle now stretching it out to a 3-second advantage over second place, Justin Smith. Williams back there in third, 3 seconds back. Which means we got one heck of a battle shaping up for second place right now. Potentially, yep, here it is. You see Williams up there on that outside line trying to use that momentum to pull him around that 66 machine is Smith. Smith running the middle. 7 cars coming on pretty strong here as we get later into this event.
Going to check lap times. That time around, Trent Dinkle with a 35.038. Justin Smith ran a 35.163. Landon Williams, 35.259. So the top 3 running within 0.2 of each other, but consistently Trent Dinkle, the fastest out of the top 3, and well, the fastest on the racetrack out of anybody that has not taken tires yet.
Yeah, and these guys are going to be bringing it in here before too long. really late in the window now. And as I say it, the 19 machine of Adriano Gomez bringing it down pit road. Randy Nichols leaving pit road. He pit last lap. Aside of that, there's just not a whole lot going on. A lot of no man's land scenarios here at Homestead.
Yeah, it's pretty spread out. Not
So,
too much action out on the racetrack, to say the least. Nolan Hodgson getting ready to come down pit road. He's got a gaggle of cars behind him. Looks like a couple others coming down with him. Robert Warren's being one of those. Cody Dahl able to make it, but Robert Warren's did not. Warren's completely overshot it. He thought that, going out, doing another lap, losing a good chunk of time was probably a better idea than risking the tire barrels or the sand barrels on the inside. Probably a smart move. So Warren's doing one more lap, but it's still going to hurt him big time in the running order.
yeah, and we heard Nicholas Vroman, somebody that we pretty much just tout as a professional at this point on here, talking about how difficult it was to get into pit road, how he had to back it down a little, give up a little bit of time because he wasn't sure about how it would work out. It's a difficult pit road to get onto here at Homestead, especially with as slidey as the cars are coming through 3 and 4. Really easy to mess that up and blow through it and knock down the fence. See Dinkle electing to stay out another lap here.
I believe John Williams is getting ready to come down from the 4th place position. Pulling off of the banking. And able to get down. Another one a little bit further back. Eddie Rose coming down. No issue for either of those guys. Like you said, one of the harder pit roads to get down. The last couple guys, no issues. Pretty safe and secure. But the early guys, they were losing their minds. Kind of makes me a little worried for some of the guys that are still out on the racetrack, including your leader of Trent Dinkle, as he comes down pit road, taking it easy, not pushing the issue too much, able to get it down to pit road speed. And that's going to be no issues for Trent Dinkle either from the race lead. He pits with a 3.5 second advantage over Justin Smith with about 34 laps to go.
Yeah, really good entry for Trent Dinkle there. Smith now in the lead, but he's under direct attack from the 7 machine of Williams behind him. A couple car lengths back. Riding that seam. 66 going to stay out an extra lap here. Trying to give himself a tire advantage to Trent Dinkle. But at this point, it's so late in the run, I just don't see where that's going to necessarily net a positive. Also, with all the craziness of pit stops happening, Justin Levine has found himself in 3rd for the time being.
Trent was close to that cone commitment line coming out. Pushing
Levine.
it just a little bit too far, but I think he might be okay.
If I'm Smith, I'm bringing it in as soon as possible. You're losing so much time staying out here like this right now.
I think he's just hoping to catch a caution. I think he knows he's not winning the race. Right, there's not enough time to make the tires matter, the tire advantage matter. I think he's just hoping to catch a caution while he's still out on the racetrack, push the fuel tank as much as possible. If he catches that yellow, everybody's strapped a lap down except for Dinkle and Williams. Dinkle will have to pit behind a whole host of other cars. So you'll definitely be ahead of him on the racetrack. As finally these two pulling down pit road. Smith really aggressive getting down pit road, just making it in before the sand barrels.
That was really close to speeding there. I think he got it down, woed up just
really
enough
close
in time.
to death. He about died.
Absolutely. Oh, I wouldn't be netting on a caution because I'm pretty sure iRacing forgot to program race control this week.
Yeah, we have not been seeing many yellows, but Homestead's one of those tracks, Homestead, Kansas. There's a lot of room off the racing surface that kind of allows for a lot of these wrecks to go clean, and it's an old, worn-out racetrack with a car that allows separation. So whenever there is a wreck, sometimes there's just not a car close enough to bring out a yellow.
And sometimes 2 cars can slam into each other in the middle of a corner and no caution.
Well, that too. That was That one should have been a yellow, I'll be honest. That one confuses me a little bit, but, you know, it is what it is. Brandon Schmidt up in second after the pit stop cycle. He's on a little bit older tires than some of the guys behind, but we're seeing varying strategy plays, so I imagine this running order will change a good bit as we go forward, seeing who's on the newer tires over the last 30 laps, who's able to push the most out of them, and who's just going to have to save a little bit more on this last stint if it runs green all the way through.
There's your race leader, trying to take with a massive advantage over second place now. 2-lap fresher tires, man, you can basically just consider this thing his in the bag at this point as long as you don't get another yellow. As we got 3 wide shaking up here a little bit further back in the pack. Smith all the way down there to that apron, right on that line. Trying to get himself back in a position, back up to second place where he's been running all day. He's now 3 wide on the bottom. Darryl Hahn to his middle.
That's what I like about the green flag pit cycles, man. You get some guys on different tires, and all of a sudden you get some battles spawning out of nowhere. Gomez and Smith now fighting inside of the top 10.
There's one thing about Gomez. He's going to give it every ounce that thing's got to offer. Not an easy guy to pass here in this series, that is for sure. But you see Smith able to get by, those fresher tires prevailing. Now he's turning his sights to the machine in front of him. That is, I do believe, Randy Nichols. And that 69 Cintas machine.
We've got a pretty big pack of cars coming off of turn 2 here down the back straightaway. So if there would be an opportunity for a caution, it would be out of this big group right here with 28 laps to go, coming to 27. I mean, this is kind of where it would happen. It would have to be somebody up towards the front of the pack, 2 cars getting together, and then, you know, obviously these guys coming storming through you would think bring out the yellow flag, but at Homestead you never know.
And Justin Smith now up to the 3rd place position. Pulled an absolute power move, licked the stamp and sent it to get by the 69 machine of Nichols. Now he turns his sights to Brandon Schmidt in 2nd place. Can he get to him in time? Oh, big slide for the 7 there, though.
Williams and Williams side by side. That's John on the outside, Landon on the inside. Landon just having to fall back in line. I believe he's got a little bit newer tires. He's trying to sort himself through these guys. Randy Nichols on a good chunk older tires, I do believe. So he's starting to fade through the pack.
Oh, and here comes Landon with a huge charge, split in the middle, coming up to the top of John down the back straightaway. And this is going to be a huge advantage coming into turn number 3. Is he going to be able to make anything work with it?
Landon having the top side could be all he needs as we go around turns 3 and 4 here at Homestead. The 7 is just going to have more momentum down the front straightaway. The B cars don't have as much of a side draft as those next gens. And John is not going to be able to do anything. Landon Williams able to take over the 4th place position and go down into turn number 1. He's trying to run down Justin Smith for 3rd. Working lap number 66 here. We're going to go ahead and take our 2nd and final commercial break of the racing action. Whenever we come back, we're taking this thing to the checker.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Apologies, we're having a little bit of a technical delay. Had a bit of a crash. We're going to be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the Ryco Performance Monday night top split. We got the B Open going on. We apologize for the extended delay there on that commercial break. Had a little bit of crash on iRacing. Got that rebooted, and we were live for the last 13 laps here. Trent Dinkle still up in the race lead, as dominating as that first race was for Garrett Maines. The second race just as dominating for Trent Dinkle.
I'm thinking even a little bit more, man. Trent Dinkle up to a 5.5 second lead, just about over second place Justin Smith. And he's still kind of pulling. Smith kind of trying to make it even, though, as he dives down to the bottom here. Putting the car a lap down.
I got to point out.
Stuck at that 5-second bubble, though.
Sheldon. Mogard has not exploded yet.
Huh. Okay, so maybe the curse is lifted. He's had a curse. We just
2
had
for
to
3
curse
tonight?
Garrett Maines once.
We still got 12
Maybe
laps
that's-
left, but you might only be 2 for 3 tonight.
Yeah, Mogard looking pretty good so far. Mogard running a really good race. Yeah, hey, I think we're in the clear.
Just the 5 blows a right front tire, and we get a Noah Gragson all over again.
First time we've seen a flat tire on iRacing in what? 5-6 years?
Might just be keeping my personal camera on Mogard for the rest of the night, just so that I can watch to be safe, to be sure, just to know, be the first to know whether the curse hits or not.
Somebody that's been really quick since this first round of pit stops came to a close. I gotta give a hats off to that 7 machine of Landon Williams. Done a really good job working his way through this pack here as we get into the later stages, sitting in third, just a few car lengths back from second place Justin Smith. A lot of speed. I was not expecting to see that 7 machine tonight. As he hits the wall going into 3.
It'd be funny if we just completely shifted to somebody else. Like, you're talking good about somebody else, then they wreck immediately, and then on the next caution, Mogard wrecks.
You see him on the apron on fire.
When was the last time you've seen fire on iRacing?
Now that's something I think we need to add. That'd be
I
cool.
agree.
Hit the wall and the nose end explodes.
I need to see Ricky Bobby jumping out of the race car and doing all those animations.
We see. I still wish that there was just a button that you could hit and it would animate like hand gestures, and you could just stick a bird out the window.
Same, man.
That'd be
I would
so
love
great.
that. A thumbs up, a thumbs down, and a middle finger is all I need.
Yeah.
And a point. Like, go low, or pit, or go by, or whatever. Like, that's
Yeah,
all need.
I can do all the narrating for whatever I'd be saying in that situation. I do it excellent already.
You would absolutely be a middle finger spammer, though.
Oh, dude, I already am. I have it in my tray of word prompts.
You have a limit of 3 middle fingers per race.
Oh, anytime I pass somebody I'm friends with, I stick that thing out.
I would just love that, man. I mean, it would be so funny. I would definitely abuse it.
Hotkey on the left side of the wheel says middle finger out the window. Probably going to get banned for that now, but whatever.
Be a fantastic addition. It really would. Well, but it just won't happen. I mean, we all know there's a serial protester out there. His name's been drug around Twitter for a while, so everybody knows what I'm talking about. But you know, if you do that keybind, you very well could get protested, Sheldon. So you got to be careful.
Everybody here in the
If he's
B
in
Open
there.
seems to get a good laugh when they see me do it. It's kind of my thing, I guess.
Yep, but you get in there with one guy that can't take a joke.
Well, I'll take a week's break. I need to touch grass anyway.
Well, that's fair. I'll give you that. You are looking kind of pale.
Just a little bit. Either way, somebody that's not going to touch grass at any point soon, it seems, is Trent Dinklage. He has just completely ran away from these guys. Now, the one thing that I'm finding impressive is how much a disparity in speed we have from straightaway to corner. These guys are dropping down to about 100. Dinklage's dropping down to about 130 flat to make the bottom of the corner work.
It's fantastic. I love it.
Can't remember the last time I've seen that. It's
It's
crazy.
almost like you have to finesse the race car instead of drive it like a bull. I like it.
But it still also makes me think that they might have the grit values at Homestead off a little bit, because I swear they carry more speed center corner here.
I don't know, man. This place is slow through the corner. This is old and worn out, especially on the bottom of the racetrack. You're not running super fast down there. Not on the late run.
Justin Smith runs some pretty quick laps, though, reeling Dinkle into 4.5 seconds from 5.5. It looks like he's absolutely ran out of time, though. Just 3 laps left on the board here as Dinkle comes to take him through 3 and 4. Just think that Smith stayed out way too late on that first run.
Trent Dinkel on that 55 lap run to open the race, 2 seconds of fall off. Love to see it. These guys are racing pretty hard back here. Eddie Rose, Nolan Hodgson, Nichols, Randy Nichols as well. He's kind of losing out on the oldest tires, I believe, out of the group. Eddie Rose and Nolan Hodgson still going to be fighting, though, for the 7th place spot. So these guys firmly within the top 10, not wanting to have any type of issue.
Big slide out of Eddie.
Both of these guys are able to hang on to it, able to stay straight, but still side by side down the back straightaway. Not willing to give up the fight for 7th, but both of them struggling.
And that right there, that's the last thing that Dinkle wants to see, is that 46 machine get sideways. You see him dead loose through 3 and 4 again, right in front of Nichols. Thankfully, Nichols, you know, the fellow Team Conti driver, going to roll off, let him have a little bit of leeway here, come through 3 and 4, and he's going to dive it down to the bottom in 1 and 2 to try and complete the pass.
Trent Dinkle coming around turns 3 and 4, just wanting to take that white flag before somebody crashes out of it. No yellow flag is going to come. Trent Dinkle is going to take the white flag. 1 lap to go from Homestead.
Trent Dinkle survived the commentator's curse so far. Survived getting through these lappers and has put on a dominant performance here with a near 4-second advantage to 2nd place Justin Smith. Nobody outside of Garrett Maines has had anything for him all race long. Garrett's not here, but Trent's going to lead him into turn number 3 for the last time.
Trent Dinkle coming through turns 3 and 4 in the B Open of the Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split. He's going to win from Homestead-Miami.
Well, man, we saw 2 races at Homestead tonight. I was expecting one of them to be a barn burner, and man, both of them were just old school butt whoopings from 2 of the best drivers in their respective series.
2 in the pink, 1 in the dink, 1 in victory lane. I should say dink in victory lane. What a performance, what a night for Trent Dinkle. Ever since Garrett Maines lagged out of it, it was just the Trent Dinkle show, and it was close with very, very close before that.
Dinks out for Harambe.
Dinks out for... All right, Trent, I love your name, but Trent Dinkle wins the race here tonight, had the pole, wins the race, led the most laps, 85 on the board here tonight. Justin Smith in 2nd, Landon Williams in 3rd place, Brandon Schmidt in 4th, John Williams 5th, Johnny Avila in 6th, Nolan Hodgson in 7th, Randy Nichols 8th, Eddie Rose in 9th, and Sean Anderson in 10th.
At 11th place, we got Adriano Diaguar Gomez, followed by Cody Dawn. 12th, 13th is going to go to Cameron Sarton, followed by Jared Mogard in 14th. Hey, he survived the curse. 15th is going to go to Robert Warrens, followed by Justin Levine in 16th. 17th is Daryl Hahn with Brandon Burkhart in 18th. And running out your top 20 is going to be James A. Morris and Brendan Polt.
21st is Travis Dart with Chris Frost finishing in 22nd, Dylan Burkott in 23rd, Scott Lamp in 24th, Ryan Van Hetchel in 25th, Garrett Maines in 26th, right after he took the race lead, lagged out of the session. And then Chris Mathis rounds out the 27 car field here tonight. But it looks like we're going to be able to jump straight into our post-race interviews, and we do have our race winner to interview here tonight, and it's the guy that wins most of these B Opens nowadays, it seems like. I feel like just about every single week we're talking about Trent Dinkle. Trent, man, it was a great race from you tonight. Not much of a challenge. 85 laps led of the 90. What was it like to be hooked up like that? Because it didn't seem like anybody else was nearly as quick.
Yeah, I mean, the car feels super good this week. I mean, obviously, I wasn't upset to see Garrett Maines survive, but I would have kind of liked to have him, had him finish the race just to see, how we would have stacked up against him over the long run. But I mean, yeah, the car is just on rails for me this week, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, Trent, there wasn't really too much to talk about, to be honest, for you tonight. I mean, you were just gone and away from the rest of the pack pretty early here, and then especially after the pit stop, there was really nothing that you had to really deal with, at least that I saw from the broadcast booth. But, like you said, Garrett not finishing the race, you don't kind of get a good eye on, kind of your competition. But are you still feeling confident on the week ahead? Because, I mean, with the pace you had, it feels like this could be a, like a 10-win week, depending on how much time you put in.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, I think we're good. I mean, the first SOF, Clampett was in there and he won. He beat me by 6 seconds, but made a couple little changes on how I was driving the center of the corners that helped. And then, yeah, I mean, it was a boring race. I was definitely watching my relative because Justin and Landon pit way after me. And I was a little nervous they might run me down, but it seemed like they kind of stalled back out right around, 10 laps to go. They lost their steam, which I was okay with because I was sweating that one a little bit.
Trent, congratulations on the win here tonight from Homestead. Who do you have to thank at the end of this one, bud?
Definitely Team Conti. Nick, he obviously made a heater for this week, so yeah, just everybody at Team Conti, all the boys, having a lot of fun, and hopefully this week will be a good one.
Alrighty, Trent. Well, thank you for coming up and taking some time out of your day to come up and talk to us, and congratulations once again on the race win.
Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty, that was your race winner, Trent Dinkel, at the end of the B Open here tonight from Homestead-Miami. Sheldon, at the end of both of our Ryco Performance Monday Night Top Split races, what was your consensus? What did you think of the night?
Well, no surprises from either race, man. Look, we saw 2 races run on one of the most difficult tracks on the circuit, and both of them went to 2 of the most dominant drivers in their respective series. And man, it was just straightforward, to the point. Good races, not a whole lot of action, but not a track where a whole lot of action tends to unfold here on iRacing. So good wins to both of them, and congratulations to everybody for keeping it clean for 2 full races.
It's going to do it here from us at GridVision, and from the entire GridVision team. We'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations to Garrett Maines and Trent Dinkel on winning tonight's races from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. This has been Austin Edstrom standing alongside Sheldon Atkins and Austin Darbyshire. We'll see you next time on the grid.